for 5 minutes and let's see other computer.
Okay. No, is my presentation on on the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let me know guys when to start, alright?
Sure, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. So today we are hosting our fifth webinar. Today's speaker is Dr. Priyanka Kharkwal, ma'am. She had done her bachelor's from GBPUAT Nagar. She had completed after completing her bachelor's, she had selected for the prestigious Commonwealth shared scholarship, and in the year 2020, she had started her studies for the MSc Veterinary Epidemiology at Royal Veterinary College, London, which is the most prestigious institute of the world. Now she had completed her master's there. She would be sharing her rich experience in the RVC. She would be talking about the hybrid program of the RBC that is nowadays is common. And as she is familiar with the COVID situations of all the time, she would be discussing about that. And she will be telling how you can grab the scholarship in detail. What are the things you should need to keep in your mind while applying for this scholarship? So let it over to the ma'am.
Hello, hi everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to whichever time zone you are joining in. Thank you, Verticals, for inviting me as a guest speaker so that I can share this knowledge to a wide platform. And guys, just let me know if I'm not audible at some point of time, okay? Just interrupt me in between if I'm not audible or my presentation acts funny. So, yes, today I'll be talking about perfecting Commonwealth applications. Though I still myself think that my application was not perfect, I could still do something better. But I'm telling you my perspective um, for writing applications and stuff for which you can, have a good hold of, at least be somewhat sure of your Commonwealth applications. Now that the Commonwealth Masters applications are now open, the Commonwealth shared scholarships are still in the bidding stage, I guess, and they'll be open. But I'll be discussing about one of the major factors that you have to keep in mind while applying. Let's start. Okay, so my first question for the day would be, what makes an application hard? Now that you know the scholarship is open, and
No,
hello, yes,
sorry, ma'am. Your PPT is not visible.
right. Is it visible now?
Yeah,
Right.
yes, ma'am.
Okay. So my very first question: what makes an application hard? Well, what you see, the application itself is what makes this entire thing hard. So, well, as most people would think, the process of making a decision about applying for a scholarship is hard in itself. And kudos if you have already thought so. And what's better if you can apply these simple tips and tricks to your application to make it worth standing out, inching you closer towards that prestigious scholarship. Better said. Any guesses on the above question? Well, this is it. Now you see, every people write every day, whether you're writing your mails, your essays, your something in your co-curriculars. Writing is an everyday job, but you should make sure while applying in the scholarship that you make it stand out. Now the Commonwealth scholarships are offered to 24 low middle income countries, and each year the Commonwealth Commission reads millions of applications, and believe me, no one plays a fluke here. It's a pretty serious business. What are the common mistakes that people do at the incubation stage? Mind it, I'm not talking about while you're writing your application. I'm just when you are just at thinking stage of what you're to, during this application process. The first thing is thinking that you are the only one applying. Come on, guys. As I said, there's millions of people from across the nations applying for this prestigious scholarship, and there's a selection percentage of 1 in 1 lakh. So do not ever think you are the only one applying for the scholarship. Second thing is taking an application casually. So, contrary to what I did, still I would advise you to not take your application very casually. This is a serious business and a very respected scholarship. So, take your applications very seriously. Third is not giving enough time to application. So, this isn't one night job that you can complete your essays and something all in one night sitting, like giving 3 hours. It requires days. You write it, rewrite it, rewrite it, rewrite it. That's the process. The fourth mistake is I can perfect this in one shot attitude. As I already mentioned, this is not a one shot thing. You have to get over it again and again. As you find new ideas over days. So this is not a one shot thing. Thinking you are not worth it. Come on. Now that you have thought you will be applying for Commonwealth scholarship, there is a very common mistake or a thought process in mind, which actually I face myself is that am I worth it? Will they select me? What is something within me that makes me like I'm just like a normal person? There are several people that would be having more achievements than me. I've done nothing. So am I worth it? This is questioning your own worth. Don't do that. Another thing similar to it is doubting your capabilities. You have thought about applying it. You're still far ahead than many others who didn't even give it a thought. So don't doubt your capabilities. You're much more than what you think. The last one will be not researching about what you're applying for. So guys, what I said, this is not a fluke and this is not something a casual application for something. You must be pretty sure about your research. You must know what you are applying for, where you are applying for. Okay, if you're not researching, this will get reflected in your application and this will make your application worse. So these are the common mistakes that you should apply at the incubation, that you should avoid at the incubation stage. Now remember, essays are the most important part of your application. Since in Commonwealth Scholarship, you do not have a face-to-face interview like in Chevening or Marshall Scholarship. They have an interview stage. But in Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, you only have to submit your essays both to the university as well as the Commonwealth Shared Commission. So your essays are the most important part of your application and it is what on you are judged at. Hold on a sec. Now, one more interesting fact is your application is blinded to avoid biasness from the selection committee towards a particular race, caste, creed, color, or minority status. Doesn't this give you a fair ground to compete when nobody knows what your status is? Or to say in Indian terms, तुम्हारा बाप क्या करता है? And judges you only on your merit? Scary still, right? Well, you should be, because this piece of paper or application, whatever you call, is going to reflect who you are, not at your class level, not at your college level, not even at your university level, district level, national, but you are competing now on a bloody international platform. So, here, every application would be better than the other. So, coming directly to the point and jumping on how would you proceed with your applications and what are the various things or essays or questions how you're asked in while applying for your application, how to tackle them, what is the catch. We'll be discussing pretty much about that. Okay, so the first thing you're asked to do within your application is selecting sustainable development goals. So it's not, so the basic, you should understand the basic purpose of this scholarship is not just for education. You're being selected for a higher ultimate motive, right? For development of the world. And sustainable development goals, as many people would relate, relates to UN, okay, United Nations. So you're contributing to a bigger cause. Not only you are studying here, millions of people come to study here in United Kingdoms or to other universities, but why are you being selected for Commonwealth scholarship is you have a goal higher from them to achieve. So the first thing they'll ask is selecting sustainable development goals, and you'll have to select three sustainable development goals for your application. The various UN sustainable development goals are, so UN has basically 17 sustainable development goals, which are highlighted on your screen right now. No poverty, zero hunger, good health, well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry, innovation and infrastructure, reduced inequalities, sustainable cities, communities, responsible consumption, production, climate action, life below water, life on land, peace, justice and strong institution, partnership for goals. So remember, in this webinar, I'll be talking about in general sense for any person belonging to any field applying for a Commonwealth scholarship. I can also be touching on various examples related to veterinary science, but I guess this presentation would be helpful in a broader context because these questions are asked whether you are an engineer, a doctor, a social activist, anything. You'll be asked these basic questions and you'll have to relate it accordingly. So, selecting UN goals should be based and should be reflective of your own goals and should resonate with your application, right? Your research interest would basically decide your goals. Now, for example, if I say I'll be working in food security sector, so what should my sustainable development goal 1 should be? Zero hunger, right? Similarly, your research interest would define which sustainable development would you think. If you're working on, let's say, if you're a social activist working for a social cause and you say that studying this course would help me elevate poverty or maybe something, your sustainable development would be no poverty. Maybe if you're working on clean energy sources, your sustainable development would be affordable and clean energy. Or if you say your research interest is lowering down the disparities between low middle income countries or developed countries in terms of technology and outputs, your sustainable development goal would be reduced inequalities. So likewise, you have to select three sustainable development goals that should be reflective of your application, right? So be very sure what you're applying for. For people in veterinary sector, I think zero hunger in terms of food security, good health and well-being in terms of animal health. If you're applying for One Health course, even for wild animal health courses, these would be applicable. Life on land, if you're particularly dealing with animals. If you say something about the recent trends and research about methane production, cattle methane production, applying for any other scholarship as well, you can say about climate action. So select these development goals likewise. So you have to select three and select it in an order in which your study reflect your goals. The first question you have to tackle is how your proposed study relates to. So, mind you, there are word limits for a particular question, and they are not here for your stories. There are specified word limits. You can be under the word limit, but you cannot go over the word limit. So every question has its own word limit associated with it. The first question would be how your proposed study relates to development issue at the global, national, and local level. And second, development issues connected to your chosen Commonwealth Shared Scholarship (CSC) theme and wider sector. This is the question. Now let's find what's the catch. In this question, what the basic asking is, or what you should be basically focusing on is issues at global, I mean international level related to your field. Then issues at national level, the area which you are living. Right now, I'm talking on Indian context, India, related to that field, and how those issues are related at your local level, be it at your district, at your college, or at your locality level, and connect these three and make a story out of these. How these three are connected. If you find that antimicrobial resistance, maybe if you're writing it, antimicrobial resistance is a global issue. Okay, how do you connect it to national level? I find that there's indiscriminate use of antibiotics used in veterinary practice right now. which poses a serious threat to food security. Okay, and then connect it at a local level. I would like to um, maybe educate the farmers as well as veterinarians about the serious consequences of this thing. Or I was inspired by the research at my college going on antimicrobial resistance, which found this particular happening. So connect all these three issues of global, national, and local level, and write about these three. Okay, you cannot be skipping anyone. The next is development issues connecting to your CSE theme. Remember, I told you sustainable development goals, and CSE gives 6 themes. So for us, it will be basically science and technology for development. That's a theme for CSE. So, how does your selected topic connect to your chosen CSE theme? So, if I'm talking about antimicrobial resistance, I'll be saying that um, science and technology has advanced to a much wider level. Right from penicillins to fourth generation cephalosporins, we have grown so much, and so is its indiscriminate use. I would like to focus my research on this topic so that it helps towards scientific and technological advancement at global, national, and local level. Something connect within your chosen CSC 3. Now the hint is how to tackle these questions. I have already said something add personal touch. Like I would like to do this. Applications with I would like to do this are more, you know, worth reading and reflects that you are seriously interested. You shouldn't be writing it as we should. Everybody knows you should. Everybody knows we should. We should control. We should act for climate action. We should do this. We should not do this. But what are you doing? So add your personal experiences to it. Second thing about writing a question is what are the development issues at global, national, and local level? Put some statistics. It shows that you have done some research. Okay. So get some data around it and put that at global level, AMR contributes to 30% of diseases or blah 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 stuff. Show that you have done some research. Third part, which I've already said, connect each part and get a flow, both at international, national, and local level. Get it going. I mean, your paragraph should be in a flow and shouldn't be a distraction like a one separate paragraph and then another paragraph that have no connection in between. Flow is important. Next question is how you intend to apply your new skills and qualification when you return home. Simple thing, no catch, no hidden words. How you intend to apply your new skills and qualification when you return home. So simple thing is what I have written in my application would be that I would basically apply my gathered skill at a local level where you have already touched upon that local level, which problem exists at your local level. So you will be basically applying those skills to rectify those problems, right? And then maybe collaborating with non-governmental organizations or educating people, educating villagers who are not aware about this, maybe uh, advocating. So you have to select these words wisely because you cannot be doing a thing which an entire organization or WHO level stuff does it, right? I cannot be you cannot be writing policies until and unless you are in the government. So you cannot say I'll be making policies. No, you can't. So be practical. What you can do is you can advocate, you can create awareness, or you can have a wider society participation. This is what you should write and choose things which are within your limits to do. So this is 100 word, a very short paragraph you should be writing. Okay, and something when you return home, so within the local context, don't give it an international touch. Okay, so if you're talking about antimicrobial resistance, let's say, then you'll be saying that upon my return to my home country, I would be judicially using all these antimicrobials that have been using unrestricted till now. If you're a field vet or you're a practicing vet, I would also advise my friends about the various harmful effects which are still unknown. I would contribute towards more scientific development in this sector, and in future would hope for advising policies related to it. You can only hope for it, okay? Considering the government job situation in India, just hope for it. The third question: what you expect will change in development terms following your studies? This is a 250 words question, and they have asked three sub questions within it. The outcomes you aim to achieve, the time frame of the implementation, and who the beneficiaries will be. Now, let's find the catch. What do they want from you? The outcomes that you aim to achieve. Okay, that's what I said. We should be done. It should be done. Everybody knows it should be done. What you will do is what they are looking for. So, the outcomes that you will aim to achieve, the time frame. Okay, you should not be saying a statement as vague as maybe I'll stop using antimicrobials for this, I'll shift for more maybe homeopathic treatments or nature based remedies for some stuff. You cannot do that, or even if you do that, you need to give a time frame to which time frame you'll be doing it. Like maybe I suppose within the next 3 to 4 years, I'll be collaborating with non-governmental organizations to advocate uh, indiscriminate use of antimicrobials in veterinary sector. So you gave a time frame that whatever you are going to do, so what you're going to do is part A, and the second part will deal with at what time would it be achievable, and the third would be who the beneficiaries would be, who will it benefit, because you're here to benefit somebody. Okay, you're working on a wider context, as I said. So you need to do things that would benefit the society on a whole. So you need to know who the beneficiaries will be. Will it be the farmers? Will it be, small livestock rearers? Will it be the underprivileged? Will it be, if you're doing something with marine biology yourself, will it be the aquatic life or the fishermen, something like that? So every question is related to your development goal as well as the theme. Relate. So the hints for tackling this question: it has asked what outcomes that you aim to achieve. So your outcomes should be measurable and achievable. Make sure they are concise and try align them with any national or international level project going on. For example, let's say FMD control project that is presently going on in India, FMD brucellosis control. So if you're applying for a veterinary sector, you can say that after learning these things in One Health, or maybe if you're applying for wild animal health, you can say wildlife conservation protection. Any search for any national international level project presently going on in India, I would like to contribute to this project which is presently undertaken by government of India, and would like this project to benefit from my knowledge and interest. Okay, so align them with any projects going on. The second question was the time frame of their implementation. So the hint for it would be: it is better to select or mention goals that have a bigger short-term impact. Nobody is interested about your long-term impact, and you won't know how the long-term impact would be. Even psychology says that people would prefer to have better short-term impacts than look at the wider picture. So mention goals that have a bigger short-term impact that would immediately get things going. The third, who the beneficiaries will be. For that, you should be clear about various stakeholders and beneficiaries involved with your research question or your uh, field of study. Next question is how the impact of your work could be best measured. Now you have said that I'll try to achieve this in this time frame, and this will benefit this particular society or section of our society. Now they have asked you a question in 100 words, that how does the impact of your work could be best measured. So they basically, the commission wants you to know everything. Like, they don't want you to just play like, I'm just here for studies, I don't know what I'll be doing, I'll just find out after my study. No, you cannot be writing this. You have to be clear about what you have to achieve, how you have to achieve, what time will it take. Not a very approximate time. Give it a rough estimate, achievable estimate. What time will it will take, and how are you even aware about how would your work be measured? You cannot, if I say that, uh like disease surveillance and monitoring, if you're talking in epidemiology context, if I say I'll contribute to disease surveillance and monitoring, or maybe better enhanced animal data collection, so how your work could be best measured? Any hints how you can tackle this question? This is it. The first is, let your work speak for yourself. So obviously you can begin a statement, but don't be very overconfident in this. You cannot say, "Oh, I'll let my work speak for myself. Oh, you'll find out, guys. I am so perfect. I'll do things you'll know. I'll make headlines." No, you can't. Okay. So the second best thing is, how would you observe what you have achieved is changes in observed statistics. Like, the present collected data shows there is only 15% awareness about using antimicrobials in veterinary sector. That, or maybe what I said, implement statistics say that the food industry suffers or has a loss of 85% when it comes to um, antibiotic contaminated meat and meat products. So if I apply my skills, I, the results would be shown in changes in national level statistics that I hope would drastically decrease. This is how you should tackle this question. The next question is, okay, this is a very short question, 125 words, and they have asked you to provide a short outline of your proposed study or research. This should be written for an audience that does not have any prior knowledge of the subject and must not be overly technical. Any abbreviations must be explained. Try not to use an abbreviation first. If using, like, WHO, explain what is WHO, because it is for people who do not have subject knowledge, prior knowledge. The hint, how you'll tackle this question. First, they have basically asked you how to explain your chosen area or your subject to a layman. So you shouldn't be, bro, I'm doing this, what antimicrobials are doing to our environment, and we should be working on it. Everybody knows it. Don't use such kind of language. Nicer words, scientific words, and proficient words. I like to say proficient and professional words. But for a layman, how would you explain your field? Suppose if you're a veterinarian, how would you explain what you'll do to maybe a person doing commerce who is a CA, or someone who is an engineer? How would you explain what research are you going to do? So don't make it heavy on scientific jargon. Avoid technical jargon, because the question itself says you should write it according to the audience that does not have any prior knowledge for the subject. Okay. And the last thing is, paraphrase if you are empty headed like me. So now, after only seeing 4 to 5 questions, you have thought, oh my god, the answers for all these questions are same. Technically the same. What would I achieve? How would I achieve? What time frame would I achieve? How would I know I have achieved this? What am I gonna do for when I come back? This is a story involved, right? So it's an intermingled stuff. When I was writing my essays, I thought that यार ये आंसर तो इसमें भी अप्लाई होता है, डिफरेंस क्या है? What's the difference? I'm writing the similar answers in the previous question as well. I'm writing the similar answer in this question as well. What to do? So if you are stuck in that stage like me, I would say paraphrase is the key. Even if you are trying to repeat your one statement, if you do not have any other research interest in mind, of course, the commission knows nobody is a scientist here. Well, people might be, because people apply for Commonwealth scholarship like after 5-10 years of their maybe they have done masters and PhD, they apply for Commonwealth again. So people, it's not like the people directly after undergraduate apply for the scholarship. You would not find similar people like this. My Commonwealth fellows are one that have 5 years of experience, that have 10 years of experience, or maybe some are like 35 years old. So you cannot know which scientific level you or your competitors are applying to. So I was just an undergrad. So I knew I had no research papers. I knew I had no research topic in mind. I knew I don't know how to write a paper. I have not contributed to any research. I have no Nobel Prizes. I have no 15,000 publications. What to do? But hey, I'm here still, Commonwealth scholarship. So don't underestimate yourself. Like what I said in the first question, do not doubt your capabilities, right? And I know what everything, apart from everything, what Indians are capable at, they are very good at paraphrasing. News वालों को ही सुन लो. They can ramble on one statement for half an hour. This is what you have to do. Okay. The next question. Okay. Now this is here the what according to me is the most important question. They've asked to provide a detailed plan of your proposed study. This selection panel will want to understand why you have selected your proposed courses and universities. This has to be done in 300 words. And they've asked you to describe clearly why you have chosen your proposed courses and universities, and why do you want to undertake this study in UK. What is it that you're looking for in a course, and how your chosen courses relate to your objectives. Any dissertation topic that you have in mind. Let's find out what's the catch. This is the question. If we are asked to write about this question, what you should look on. The catch is they have asked to provide a detailed plan. That's why they have asked for 300 words. For a short plan explaining for a layman, they have asked for 125 words. See the word limit and the difference of what they have asked. You have to have a detailed plan of your proposed study. So you have to know in advance what you are going to do, how you're going to do. Secondly, it's not for layman, it's for the selection panel. Okay, so the selection panel will want you to understand. Okay, it's for selection panel, and know that these panel members are experts. So they want to understand why you have selected your proposed courses. So which course you are applying to, and why only this course. If you are applying for epidemiology, why epidemiology? What interests you in epidemiology? If you're applying for One Health, why One Health? Why the concept of One Health? Say it's a new field, or maybe it's a field, or you can say like the present coronavirus researchers show that the next pandemic would be from drug resistance. So I think undertaking this course would help me tackle this particular problem. Or if you're doing wild animal health, say that over these many years, these number of species have become extinct, and I would like to contribute towards their conservation. This course will help me learn about their conservation techniques. So select it, tailor your statement according to your courses as well as to the universities. So why this university? So you can basically apply to, I guess, 5 to 7 universities. I have no idea. I just applied for one. But in Commonwealth scholarship, you have this liberty to apply to more than one universities. But you write the statement according to the first one you have applied. So why are you applying to this university? If you're not getting admission in the first university, your application is considered for the next. But this happens only in Commonwealth. I'm sure in Chevening, you have to apply only for one university. Three. Okay. So in Chevening, they give you for options for 3 universities. Now they've asked you to describe clearly why have you chosen your proposed courses, university, and study in UK. Why UK? Why are you choosing United Kingdoms? So say maybe it's a developed country, pioneer in research, or many important contributions mention the universities, mention the places in UK from where they came from. That would justify why you're studying in UK. The third thing is what you are looking for in the course. What do you think would be in the course, basically? So it's like if you have applied to, suppose, veterinary epidemiology, what you're looking for in the course? Maybe methods of disease surveillance, uh, or you can say data analysis. This is what I'm looking for in the course. This is what I hope the course would be. And then related to your objectives, I hope that by learning these things, I'll be able to achieve my objectives, which you have mentioned in earlier questions. This question is tricky. Any dissertation topic you have in mind? So some people are there that are obviously they come with a pre-decided research question that I'll do this particular research. I'll work on maybe fungal diseases and tigers, or maybe I'll do a study on discriminate proportion of vaccine distribution, or maybe I'll do seroepidemiology of uh, foot and mouth disease. But you do not know at this stage. I never knew at my stage because I was just a fresh undergraduate. So I don't know any dissertation topic. I didn't know what a dissertation is like. How do you propose a topic? And don't worry, you don't have to propose a topic. The university or your supervisor or advisor would give you a topic. There'll be a list of topic for you to select that. Or you can come up with your own topic. That's very good. Okay. So you do not have to stress about if you don't know anything about any dissertation topic you in mind. What I said, paraphrase and just focus mainly on these two questions. I didn't have any research topic in my mind, basically. So, and I'm still here for a Commonwealth scholarship. So, everything you say can't be possible. You have an example right in front. Okay, so the hint. Firstly, as I said, write it to impress the selection panel and know they are the experts in this field. So your paragraph would basically be read by someone in the Commonwealth Shared Commission committee, as well as your course directors in your colleges. So your course directors would be knowledgeable person, right? If you're applying for veterinary epidemiology, the course director for veterinary epidemiology, be at RVC, be at Bristol, or be at any university you're applying, they'll read your application. So they are the experts in their field. So you cannot be writing vague stuff. Okay, be precise, impress them. Second, explore your courses. How do you explore your courses? If you're applying for One Health, let's suppose, if it's possible to consult any senior in this field, any senior working in that college, or senior who has recently graduated, consult them that what is this course about in your university, what do they teach you. Or best, if you cannot find a senior, it's possible you cannot find a senior in this field, I didn't find a senior, so you can best visit the college website to explore the courses, that what the course is all about. The every college website gives a basic overview of the courses, so just know what this college has to offer for this particular course. Third, know about the college, current researchers, or any notable alumni that has contributed significantly to its field. That would add weight to your applications. That I know this kind of research. When you're writing why you have selected this particular university, you say this kind of research align, maybe any antimicrobial research in, let's suppose, RVC. Say I've read about the recent RVC publications about mm, staphylo penicillin resistant this bacteria, and this quite aligns with what research topic I have in my mind. Align it with your research topic. Every answer you're giving, align it with what you propose. Tell what do you expect from the course. I've already taught what do you think, even after you have consulted your a senior or you have visited the college website. Understand the differences between these two questions. This is what the course offers, and this question is what do you think it will offer. So there's a difference, and there shouldn't be a wide difference within your answer. If you're saying in One Health, I hope that I'll learn about uh, maybe applying economics to daily life, or say disease modeling, or vaccine related stuff. Get those hints from what the college has to offer and paraphrase to tell what you expect from the course. They shouldn't be widely different. I've already talked about why UK is favored. And the last thing is, how would the course cater to your objectives? Relate every objective with your study objective. Like, you're applying not for studying but for making a global impact. That's what differentiates you from a normal person studying in UK. You won't be just a normal XYZ person, you'll be a Commonwealth scholar. So focus about its global impact. The next question they ask is, the selection panel will work to understand how your proposed study will assist you in your career. Describe the skills that you expect to gain from the scholarship and the career plans once you return home afterwards. This is the question. What do you think should be done in this? Let me tell you. The hints. The first question, how would this course assist in your career? Briefly mention about the career objectives in light of your present chosen course. So you cannot be saying that I am doing One Health for to apply it in animal conservation. Basically, you can apply One Health for animal conservation, that's not an issue, but One Health is an interplay between human, animal and environmental sector. So align your career objectives, future career objectives, what you will do after you come back home, with what your study area is. Okay. Second thing is, maybe you can say, if I'm applying for veterinary epidemiology, I wish I'll apply my learned knowledge into better disease surveillance, control, monitoring, and early and prompt analysis of data, disease related data. Maybe you can also talk about disease modeling, that it will help me in modeling diseases perfectly so that I can save lives beforehand. Okay, so this answer would be tailored to what your career objectives are. Secondly, they have asked, what skills do you wish what skills do you think would you gain from this scholarship? So they have asked from the scholarship, not the course. So you have already talked about what you hope for from the course, what the course does offer you. So now they have asked, what skills from the scholarship do you want? Like, you can apply for this course at RBC randomly. I can apply to Vet Epi without going through this Commonwealth scholarship. What do I have to gain from this scholarship? This is what they're asking you this. So say maybe this will give me better networking opportunities, maybe connect me on a global platform, maybe able to share, communicate ideas with eminent leaders worldwide. This, or maybe contribute to what the scholarship goals are. Read about the scholarship goals, why do they offer scholarship, whom do they offer scholarship, and align them with what skills do you think you would gain from the scholarship. Remember, it's not about the course, it's about from the scholarship. Do not mention about the course, not mention anything. Maybe I think networking would be a great thing to start with, and you can add on various things from the scholarship. The next thing is your career plans on returning home. So guys, I know UK has started a graduate scheme, and if you are not applying for a scholarship, if you're applying by your own self, like if you're a self-funded student, after an year of study in UK, you can apply for a graduate route visa, wherein you're given 2 years of extension to stay in UK. Your visa is extended for 2 years, and it does not require any letter of sponsorship, work permit. You can live here in UK for 2 years without having any job to do for anything. But Commonwealth scholarship does not allow its students to get hold of that graduate route scheme, unfortunately. But yes, you have to return to your home country. So you have to mention within your scholarship what are your plans on returning home. So while you return home, they have asked this question. Career plans once you return home afterwards. So just write it. What will I do? What you can do is maybe get back, if you're a working vet, get back to your clinic or wherever you are posted and apply these new techniques, or maybe join an eminent research institute in your own country. Or you can say that I'll apply this thing, and I'll keep on applying for further research assistantship jobs or PhDs in order to further widen my perspective and knowledge in this field. Okay, so your career plans, oh, kya tha dialogue, your career plans are your career plans, none of my career plans. So you have to tailor it according to what you want. And yes, you have to return home. Sad part. The next question. So they want you, as I earlier said, they want you to know everything. क्या करोगे, कब करोगे, कितने टाइम में अचीव करोगे, कैसे मेजर करोगे, क्यों करोगे. So next thing is focusing on their career plans. You have to mention your short-term career plans, long-term career plans when returning home, plans while you are in UK, plans जब तुम्हें scholarship मिल गई. So you have to be very clear. Give a very clear understanding कि you know what you are doing, what you are coming from, and what you will be doing afterwards. Remember, Commonwealth scholarship कोई छोटी चीज नहीं है. And you know the selection rate, 1 in 1 lakh. So as far as I know, none of the student was selected for this year 2021 to 2022 from India, unfortunately. But yes, in my year 2020 to 2021, we were 2 Commonwealth scholars from India. I was from Vet Epi, and we had Dr. Amit from Wild Animal Health. So apparently for Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, you can apply for 3 courses. Wild Animal Health. So only veterinarians can apply to Wild Animal Health. There is other simultaneous course running with it that's called Wild Animal Biology. So in Wild Animal Biology, zoologist or maybe any other people with a BSc degree can apply, but not in Wild Animal Health. Wild Animal Health would basically be veterinarians, and they would require a minimum of 2 years of experience, field experience. Doesn't matter if it has to be wildlife or domestic animals, but you require 2 years of experience. The only reason I could not apply to Wild Animal Health was I applied directly after my undergraduate, so I had no field experience. Whatever field experience I had was within my 6 months of clinical internship, so that made me ineligible to apply for that course. So I applied for veterinary epidemiology and One Health, and I got the result for veterinary epidemiology before, so I withdrew my application from One Health. So these are the 3 courses which you can apply, and yes, these are the 3 courses basically offered for scholarship in RVC. So coming back to this question, the career plans in 5 years following the awards. This is 250 words. What do you think you should answer in this? They have clearly stated in 5 years what you can achieve in 5 years. You cannot be a director for a very reputed organization, can you? No. You cannot be an eminent position holder in any of the government institutions, can you? No. So what they mean is short term goals. What are your short term goals? 5 years. 5 years is very quick span of time. Like, you don't know when 5 years pass. Okay, I don't realize when I just entered my college in undergraduate and I have now finished my post graduation. So it's a very short time. So tackle this question with the short term goals, make them realistic and achievable. As I said, make time frames, clear cut goals. Even if you're not able to achieve, make some goals that, for the commission, it is easy to observe that you are realistic and you have a plan in mind. वो बाद में देखा जाएगा तुम अचीव करते हो कि नहीं करते हो. Most of the people are not able to achieve them still, but you have to write it right. Anyhow, you cannot be a star overnight, so no big flukes. Like I said, मैं इसका डायरेक्टर बनूंगा, मैं WHO में पॉलिसीज इंप्लीमेंट करूंगा. No, you cannot do that. In 5 years, no, you cannot do that. If they've asked for a long-term goals, suppose 10 years, 15 years, then you can write, I hope. Hope is a good word. Every time you have seen, I've written hope. So you can say, I hope I'll be in advisory committee for Asia Pacific region for World Organization for Animal Health. Or I hope to join the policy advisory panel for Indian government to make more research and investment in this field. वो long term goal है. But 5 years you cannot do this. If you are an undergraduate, mind it, that depends upon your level of experience, your level of expertise. If a professor right now is applying for this Commonwealth scholarship, he obviously can, right? I'm talking from my perspective. Lastly, ideally, you should spend this time practically assimilating the knowledge. So, what you can do in 5 years is assimilating your knowledge and applying it at first hand in the clinic. So, what you will gain here is just knowledge. You won't gain a practical application to that knowledge, or the only practical stuff you'll be doing is in your practical classes. So, this doesn't give you a real life experience. So, what you should ideally spend this 5 year span is practically or applying what you learned concepts in field. Okay, the next question. I know there are a lot many questions, right? And that's why I said that it's not a single day job where you can write it. You write it, delete it, write it again, delete it, write it again. So not a not something what you regularly do for your exams or practical. एक रात पहले कर लेंगे हो जाएगा नहीं. Okay, it says summarize the ways in which your personal background has encouraged you to want to make an impact in your home country. You should indicate areas in which you have already contributed, such as having overcome any personal or community barriers to higher education. Remember, अभी तक का सबसे बड़ा question, 500 words. The last question you saw for these words was 300 words, where you had to impress the panel. This is 500 words. So, it's story time. Now, while you're writing your application, you realize that maybe you're over the words and cutting short is a task, or maybe you're writing everything very clearly, concisely in 125 words, and it's over. इससे ज़्यादा क्या लिखूँ मैं अब? So, this section is about making stories, writing a story. It's story time. And how you do it. Okay. Align interest with your personal experiences. So why you are interested in this particular field? You cannot say I dreamt about it overnight, right? If I want to be an astronaut. So remember the slam books you used to fill in your childhood? I want to be a pilot. I want to be an astronaut, something. You just had a fantasy about it, or you just saw someone in TV shows or movies and you were fascinated by it. But now you are mature enough applying for a Commonwealth scholarship, so you cannot be writing those shit. So align it with your personal experiences. That what I have seen, or this is the problem at my locality level, which I think should be tackled. The common mistakes people make in their application is writing, since childhood I have been interested in, since childhood I have done this. Dude, childhood is meant for you to play, to learn, and to do this thing. Since childhood you cannot be focusing on antimicrobial resistance. Okay, you learned this concept 2 years ago. People are not fool at the scholarship commission to know that you haven't done something since childhood. This is too cliche. Don't write or begin any application with since childhood I have dreamt. No. Remember what you filled in your slam books. You have not dreamt of this. You have not dreamt of veterinary epidemiology. You never knew veterinarian is a thing unless your family had a background with this. So this makes me lead to the next point. It's good enough if you have someone in your family for the same field. Let's suppose talking not in this field for Commonwealth, because there are only 3 fields. If you are applying for, suppose, any other application for gynecology, suppose masters in gynecology, and your father is like is a professor in veterinary gynecology department. So say that I have always seen my father doing this, or my father has inspired me to do this. Or if you're still adamant on writing since childhood, right? Since childhood, I have visited his laboratories. I have ruined my playing prospects. I have ruined my, uh, networking with my friends. I have ruined playing football. But since childhood, I have went to his labs and I've seen him doing, uh, whatever your family member does or is this. So this, if you have someone in your family related to the same field, that gives you an added advantage. Not an added advantage, but two or three statements to write in your application that we have always talked about this, my father always talked about this, or he was all my my sister was always engaged in these type of researches that made me realize. So they have asked you your childhood experiences, why are you applying for this? So you have to frame a story. So summarize the ways in which your personal background. So this is how your personal background relate to it. If you're an epidemiologist, say maybe data I have realized working in the sector that data is not collected properly, or maybe more proper data analysis needs to be done in this field. And since childhood, I always had an analytical mindset. I was good in maths, and maybe this stuff. Or maybe you can write that, say, if you're sincerely avoiding the since childhood statement, you can say you were inspired by a pioneer in this field whom I met about. Or maybe you can say that I attended a webinar, uh, or maybe, or I attended a short course, I took a short course, or maybe I saw a video by person in which he talked about this and I got inspired from that idea. That's a much better thing to say that since childhood you have dreamt of being a veterinary epidemiologist, right? Thirdly, when you have framed your entire story, align it with what initial actions you took after being inspired. Now you have been inspired. Now you have visited the laboratory. Now you have seen the people in talk show. What have you done next? Only being inspired doesn't help you, right? You cannot be sitting idle after being inspired. So people who are inspired work towards in this field. So what have you done after being inspired? Write about it. You have got ample of time. 500 words. And maybe they say you should indicate areas in which you have already contributed. It doesn't mean you have to have any maybe contribution in government field. Say that I have, maybe during my clinical internship, I have collected samples from animals and did antimicrobial testing on them. As simple as that. Realistic, possible, and what you did it, you can defend it, right? So you have done antimicrobial testing and you have found that uh, many clinical specimens are, extremely drug resistant, and I want to know more about this field. That's why I'm applying to One Health. This is what you can say, what you have already done, in which you have already contributed. Or maybe if you have some popular articles or stuff, right? I have talked about this. Or maybe I have in any societies you have joined in your college. We raised an awareness campaign about this, or I have written posters about this. I have taken a short course related to this. You can say that, right? Having overcome any personal or community barriers, please, please, and please don't say I used to sit under street lights, I was very poor, uh, there were floods in my house. No, no, please. This is a big no no. So make it realistic, make it possible. Overcome any personal community barriers. You say, maybe if you're emphasizing on this, you can say that this area of research is not quite prominent or not quite undertaken. So let's suppose in my application of veterinary epidemiology, I said that veterinary epidemiology is as such not a field in India. It comes under the umbrella of public health. So I wanted to do something extra, something more, something apart from the herd mentality. So this is how you overcome any personal or community barriers, not by studying under the street light. This is what your father or grandfather could have written and secured a scholarship, but not you. You are very technologically blessed, so don't write these vague comments on this. Okay, I think this would be the last question would they have asked. Yes, the 10th question. Summarize the ways in which you have engaged in voluntary activities and the opportunities you had to demonstrate leadership. This again is 500 words. नाउ अभी तक तुमने जो को करिकुलर कर रखे हैं, जो कोर्सेज लिए हुए हैं, जो वेबिनार अटेंड किए हैं, जो आर्टिकल्स पब्लिश किए हैं, हेयर इज योर चांस टू राइट एवरीथिंग 500 वर्ड्स, क्लियर, कंसाइज, एंड फोकस ऑन वॉलेंट्री एक्टिविटीज. मे बी कॉलेज लेवल पे जो काम करते हो सब वॉलेंट्री करते हो. ओके, इंडिया में यू डू नॉट गेट पेड फॉर एनी एक्टिविटी यू डू इन योर कॉलेज. मे बी opened a YouTube channel. Maybe like people here in Veticos, they can write, we had India's largest growing veterinary education group and community where we used to post this, where we used to motivate things. और just write कि मैं I used to teach my fellow students. कुछ नहीं किया तुमने, ठीक है, कॉलेज लाइफ में कुछ नहीं किया तुमने, बस ग्रुप स्टडी किया बैठ के. राइट इट इन अ गुड वर्ड कि आई यूज्ड टू टीच माय पीयर्स. या फिर तुमने किसी सोसाइटी में वॉलंटरी एक्टिविटी, सपोज एनसीसी, यू हैव डन, यू हैव गिवन योर सर्विसेज टू नेशनल कैडेट कॉर्प्स, गुड. एनएसएस, वेरी गुड. Here you can write in voluntary activities and opportunities to demonstrate leadership. Any important positions you have held, like maybe I was the chairperson of the veterinary society. I was an event manager in the society. I organized this national level stuff in my this. I grabbed this opportunity. You can write anything. Opportunities, you had to demonstrate leadership. So the hints. This is the chance to highlight your co-curricular sector. Make it vivid and multi-directional. So it shouldn't be only education based, because we are not here, or Commonwealth Commission is not here to select only nerds. They are here to select an all-rounded grown personality. So you should have a presence in academics. Your scores do not highly matter. I have seen people who have come up to me saying my GPA is less. I mean, like, I do not have a 8 pointer or 8.5 pointer in my GPA, but I'm very keen on applying this. Can I apply? Yes, you can, obviously. I've seen people with 8.5 GPA, 8.6 GPA trying for 3 years, not getting selected. So GPA is not a thing, and you are not judged on GPA. Mind it, you are not judged here on GPA. You should have a good GPA. It shouldn't be like you have a 5.9 GPA and you're applying for this scholarship, obviously. But इंडिया की जीपीए स्कीम के हिसाब से some colleges are very lenient in scoring, so you can have a 8.6, 8.9, even 9 pointers somewhere in some of the institutes in India, whereas in some of the equally important institute, they don't give you marks, they don't give you a GPA more than 7.5. Doesn't make you less qualified or less intelligent. Okay, so GPA doesn't matter यहाँ पे. Second thing, focusing on co-curriculars. Like, I had been even I didn't had a very good GPA. Okay, I wasn't an 8 pointer. I wasn't a gold medalist. Tada! So, but what I had to count on was my co-curricular experience. Maybe, important positions in societies, doing this, doing that. Maybe if you have even, participated. Right, I have participated in this. Shows your zeal and encouragement to participate in this thing. You are shunning your public inhibitions. You are still show them that you are a public speaker. Maybe you have participated in a college level stuff, hostel level stuff. You are good at sports. You have played cricket. You have represented your college or maybe your hostel in a cricket tournament. Great thing. They don't judge you for small things. Oh, just on, oh, he plays cricket and he's writing this. Should I be writing this? Yes, please. But you shouldn't be exclusively focusing on things. I participated in a badminton thing where I just called in participants and had to act as a referee. That would make it a bit weird, right? So make it vivid, multi-directional. Like you're good in sports, you're good in academics, you're good in maybe uh, things like collage making, poster, something with your presentation, public speaking skills. You can put everything down here, and it should be related to your application and showing that you are not just academically inclined. That's what I said, vivid and multidirectional. Publications are good, but not at all necessary. Now, for all these 10 questions which you have seen, did you notice any of the question asked you for a publication? No, they don't want. Okay, you're being selected for a master's, and they know at master's level you cannot have a publication. So, according to what I did, I was just an undergrad, fresh undergrad coming to masters, no experience, no clinical experience, no publications. So I just, so yes, I had no publications, no popular articles, and I am with a scholarship. So publications are good. If you have, they will give, and maybe 1 or 2 plus points, but they are not at all necessary. If you do not have any publications, no research articles, no worries, you're still eligible for a Commonwealth scholarship. They have not asked you for a publications. Even some PhDs, they don't ask you for a publication. Publications are always in the desirable section, but not in the essential section. So even if you don't have a publication in your masters, doesn't matter. I don't have a publication in my masters, even studying at RBC. So if no significant co-curriculars, then focus on strong research areas. Now we have a person who is very academically inclined, who has worked very hard in his academics, couldn't find time for his co-curriculars, unfortunately. And you cannot be fluking about things. I did this, which you did not. Please be truthful. So the only thing left for you to do is, if you do not have a good co-curricular section, is start doing it now. Or if it's too late, I know there are people joining in this webinar from third year, fourth year, and you'll be obviously applying when you are in fifth year, right? So start doing it now. Better late than never. So, and those who are already in fifth year and do not, and think they do not have significant co-curriculars, then my advice would be to focus more on research areas. On the previous 9 questions, this was the 10th question, right? Summarize the ways and you engage, and you would have engaged in some kind of voluntary activities anyhow. So not a big deal. Emphasize in earlier 9 questions and you're good to go. Okay, so this marks the end of my presentation. So guys, now I open the floor to any kind of questions related to this perfecting Commonwealth applications. And yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for such an amazing webinar.
Welcome.
If any participant has any query, he or she may write in the chat box, or they can raise your hands also.
I hope this webinar has helped you guys and would help you in writing your application. Some short cheat tricks whenever and if you're currently applying, and if you want to know more or connect to me, you can do it via LinkedIn. I'm presently active on LinkedIn, or you can email, have my Gmail ID. You can send, if you want me to read your Commonwealth scholarship essays, application, just suggest some pointers, what I can do it to make it better. I'm up for it.
Kindly write your queries in the chat box. Okay, ma'am, there is one query. Dr.
Okay.
Pratna is asking, is masters in UK is equivalent to MVSC here in India?
Nice question. Well, no. The answer is straightforward no. Commonwealth Shared Commission wants you to sign a declaration saying that you are aware of this fact that this master's degree is not valid in India. So you do not get a MVSC here, you get a MSc. Okay. And in India, in veterinary sector, in order to be said as done masters, you need an MVSC. So yes, this I am still an undergraduate. I'll still be considered as an undergraduate in India. If I have to apply for PhDs, I cannot. But obviously, you can in abroad. But this UK 1 year master's degree is currently not uh, valid in India.
Okay. Next question is from Dr. Garima. She's asking, are there any other scholarships than Commonwealth?
Okay, so I am aware about three similar types of scholarships. So you can either apply to Commonwealth Scholarship, which further is two type: Commonwealth Master Scholarship and Commonwealth Shared Scholarship. So Commonwealth Master Scholarships, you have to be nominated. I mean, you have a dealing with the government of India, whereas for the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, the government had no role. The other scholarship you can apply is Chevening Scholarship, and the other one is Marshall Scholarship, I think, but I'm not sure if Marshall is open for India. Chevening is. Marshall, I have no idea. Other things for UK, you can apply for scholarship is Rhodes Scholarship, Oxford Rhodes Scholarship, where you get admission. It's a fully funded scholarship for admissions in Oxford, but they have certain criteria that you should be under 24 years of age while applying, and then all they will have different set of questions. But yes, I'm aware of these four fully funded scholarships in UK.
Okay. Dr. Mohit is asking, animal genetics courses in UK.
Sorry, Dr. Mohit, I have very less idea about animal genetic courses in UK. You should explore the various veterinary websites or colleges enrolled within, search with their you know ongoing researches and PhDs or research assistantship offers, or various fields in which they are doing. There must be animal genetic courses, but I'm not aware of it. So you'll have to visit the websites and look for it.
Yeah. Dr. Parekh is asking, are there any similar scholarships for PhDs as well?
Okay, so you have a Commonwealth PhD. Yes, Commonwealth does give for a PhD. Commonwealth split side PhDs, wherein for it's for 3 years degree. You spend 2 years in India and 1 year in UK. That's a split side. And I right now know about these two Commonwealth scholarships. Other thing is there are various fully funded PhD scholarship as well, but that depends upon what project, which department, or which college you are applying, and if they're willing to fund you, because PhD is a paid job, so they pay you. So जितने तुम्हारे पे आता है, you manage your expenses likewise. I know about these two scholarships, but I think Dr. Parekh, you'll need to search more about it online.
Any other queries? Again, Dr. Prashna is asking, if I apply for Commonwealth scholarship, does I have to choose and apply for university in advance?
Yes. So while filling your Commonwealth application form on CSC website, you have to select your college, which college you are applying to. You give preferences for your colleges, so you should know which college you're applying to. You can select more than one colleges, but yes, you have to give a priority listing.
Okay. No more queries are there, ma'am.
No worries. I'm happy. I would be rather happy if this webinar would, help someone inspire for applying for a Commonwealth scholarship or might help in writing their essays. As I said, I am available. You can contact me if you need any further help with this term. And well, guys, thank you so much for your time. Cheers.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And thank you so much all the participants for joining this webinar. Stay home, stay safe. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.